So it's nearly 2015 and there's still people out there who will say that snipers are overpowered because quickscoping is an exploit and it's unfair, and that's why every once in a while I like to make a video like this that shows off what it looks like when a sniper decides to pick up a regular gun. Hey, what's up guys, this is 9Lives coming at you with another video, and now that I'm done repping snipers with that introduction, which I hope you guys liked by the way because I do try to be a positive voice for the sniper community. I just enjoy it, and I hope you guys do too. But anyways, let's change direction here and talk about this 100 kill gameplay with me using the ASM-1. And yes, that clip from the beginning is from this gameplay. So I wanted to take some time and do an in-depth breakdown of my playstyle in this video and explain what you can do to get the most kills in the momentum game mode while playing aggressively with the submachine gun. I've put a lot of extra time into this video, so I would really appreciate it if you could take a moment and hit that like button before we move on. It only takes 2 seconds. It really does help me out a lot, and like I said, this video did take quite a bit longer than usual to make because I put a lot of detail into it. So right there was the first quad feed of the game, and there's actually 5 quad feeds in this gameplay with the ASM-1. So keep a lookout and watch the gameplay. There's a lot of cool plays in this. But anyways, the first thing that I want to mention is you guys probably want to see the class setup that I'm using. So I'll put it on the screen now and you can check it out. The bombing run ended up being pretty useless because there's a lot of indoor space on this map. So I didn't even get 1 kill with the bombing run, I don't think. Now the sentry gun, it did come in handy. I only got 2 kills with it, but you'll see in this video that there's a really cool way that you can use it that helps out a lot, even if it isn't getting kills. It can provide suppressive fire to kind of direct the enemies in the direction that you want to, and it usually barely gets any kills, but you'll see. So let's get right into the good stuff. The rest of this video is going to be me breaking down and explaining my playstyle in as much depth as possible, and hopefully you'll find these techniques to be useful and be able to incorporate some of them into your own playstyle. Now I do have to give a little disclaimer here. I'm not trying to show you guys how to end a game of momentum as fast as possible. I don't find that to be a fun way to play. I mean, what am I supposed to say? Just like hop on all the flags as fast as you can and then end the game. What I'm going to be trying to show you is how to get as many kills as possible and win the game. Okay, so we are going to be winning the game here, but we're also going to get as many kills as possible while doing it, and I find that to be the funnest way to play momentum. If you guys didn't know, this game mode has been around for a long time. If you go all the way back to the first version, Call of Duty 3, the war game mode, that's what this momentum is based off of. If you go back and play Call of Duty 3 now, people are not going to try to end the game as fast as possible. They're playing it as a game of map control. Controlling the map, having as much control over the opponents as possible and winning the game that way. That's the way that I prefer to play momentum. I think that's the way that most people prefer to play momentum, but I know that some people like to end the game as fast as possible. I'm not saying one way is right and one way is wrong, but it's just a little disclaimer to kind of make sure you know what this video is about. And by the way, that was my second quad feed of the game. Once again, there's a total of 5 in this gameplay, so make sure you're watching. It's pretty cool. But anyways, without any further ado, let's get into this. So the first idea that I want to share with you is that you need to try and be in control of the objective as much as possible, but without physically being on the objective. To do this, you're going to have to focus on defending the objectives, but it's probably not what you think. When I say defending the objective, you probably think of a reserved and boring playstyle, but nope, we're going to be playing offensively to defend the objectives. Now, here I'll be defending the objective using defensive and offensive tactics at the same time. I use an automatic sentry gun to protect the objective defensively, and then watch this, I go and flank to defend offensively with my ASM-1. So now I'm defending the objective with the sentry gun, and I flank to protect the flag offensively as well at the same time, which quickly and easily allows my teammates to capture the flag so we can push back over to the enemy side of the map. Now moving on, check out this play right here. I really wanted to show you guys this. I wanted to point out that you should always be evaluating which enemy is the largest threat to you. So look, I pulled out of that gunfight to deal with the guy who's trying to shoot me in the back, and then went back to the enemy that I was originally shooting to finish him off. Always be evaluating which enemy is the greatest threat to you. That'll help you stay alive and get as many kills as possible, because right there, obviously the guy that I was shooting in the back wasn't much of a threat to me, so I was able to turn and shoot the guy who was shooting me from behind me, deal with him, and then go back to the enemy I was originally shooting. So something that you should always be thinking about whenever you're running around the map in Call of Duty is which enemy is the greatest threat to you and which one is most likely to kill you. So let's move on to this clip here. Right now, I'm offensively defending the objective to allow my teammates to capture the flag, because I prefer the next flag location, so I want to make sure my teammates are able to cap it. I clear out all the enemies who are trying to kill them, and we end up capturing the flag. Notice how I avoid head-on gunfights. I'm always in a more powerful position than my enemies. They're always looking the wrong way or whatever. I'm behind them, shooting them from the side or whatever. Makes it really easy for me to kill them, and they never really get to see me. So make sure that you are behind your enemies, or you're using cover to your advantage or something else like that that allows you to win as many gunfights as possible. Now you'll notice that I did have to evade that area, but don't worry, I'm still defending the objective. Check it out. I'm making sure that these enemies here aren't able to get into the middle flag, and my teammates do end up capturing the flag because of this. And check it out, here comes another quad feed. What is that, is that the third quad feed? I think so. Anyways, as you can see, my teammates were able to capture the flag. I kept all the enemies away, and it worked out. Some people say, like, you're not playing the objective unless you're actually capturing the flags, but that's not true. I'm completely playing the objective here. So now let's move on to the next little strategy. This is a pretty big one. So you really need to be able to identify high traffic areas. I mentioned before that this is my favorite flag here, the one in the school building, and there's a good reason for that. This is the most high traffic flag with the biggest choke point. Like, you can see the enemies are forced to funnel into this hallway here. They really don't have very many options. They could try and go around and up the stairs in the middle, but realistically 90% of the people are going to try to come in through the hallway. And you need to be able to identify areas like this that put you in a position to really get a lot of kills. You have to be able to put yourself between the objective and where the enemy team is coming from, and you'll end up picking up a lot of kills. I think I ended up getting about 7 kills on this flag here, and then we pushed them to their last flag. So now that they're at their last flag, remember how I provided extra support with my sentry gun earlier to push the flag out of our side of the map? Well, this is going to be the complete opposite situation right here. I'm laying down and letting the enemies capture their flag because I have more than enough control here to make sure my team wins in overtime. So I'm not too worried about their team capturing a flag. This way I'll have a little bit more time to get kills, and we're gonna win the match anyway, so it's not a big deal if we get set back one flag. Plus, I'm trying to keep it on the flag that I can get the most kills at, which is the schoolhouse here. So I noticed that after they cap their flag, they actually get onto our flag here that I want to keep, so I clear them out quickly by coming in up the stairs, and then I go around to continue my routine of trying to flank them. So I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I always like to come in this back window here to flank them. Unfortunately, that time it didn't work out. But anyways, always have a flank route that you can continuously use to get behind the enemy team, and that's one of the characteristics of a high traffic area that you're going to want to look for. So this is perfect. That's why I love this flag. Now, since my team pushed the enemies back to their last flag here once again, I made sure that I cleared the enemies out of the inside of the building so that the enemies would spawn outside and be forced to capture their flag. If the enemies screw around inside this building, they're never going to capture their flag and we'll end up winning the game, so I need to keep the enemies outside of this school building. That's the only way that they're going to capture their flag. So they end up spawning in the back left corner because of this, and as you'll see here, the enemies do end up capturing their flag, which is what I was going for. Awesome. So the next little tactic that I wanted to share with you guys is drop shotting. You'll see it right now. Dropped to the floor, went prone, and shot that guy. I assume most of you are really familiar with drop shotting already, but for those of you who aren't, you need to use the tactical button layout, which makes the crouch button on the right thumbstick. And situations where you're going to want to drop shot is when you suddenly get put into a situation where you're in a head-on gunfight and you have no other advantage but dropping to the floor. You can't get cover, you can't get behind the enemy or anything, so that's what drop shotting is for. Now we're on to the clip from the beginning of this video where I get 8 kills without reloading. What I want to show you here is strafing while you're shooting. So as you can see here, I'm moving side to side while I'm dealing with these guys. Whenever there's a lot of enemies in front of you, you have to make sure you're staying mobile while you're shooting them and moving in an unpredictable pattern. So you saw I was moving left to right while I was shooting them. and that makes me a harder target. It helps me stay alive longer and helps me get as many kills as possible before somebody kills me eventually. Another thing to take away from that is try not to reload excessively, especially when you're in a high traffic area. The ASM-1 gives you 67 bullets before you have to reload, so you shouldn't really make a habit of reloading for no reason. I know I used to have a problem where I would kill a few guys and then I'd reload no matter what. Like after 2 kills, every 2 kills I would reload or something. But that's a really bad habit to have because it can take you out of the play unnecessarily when, for example, when I got those 8 kills without reloading, there is tons more guys around the corner that I could kill, and if I stop to reload, that ruins everything. So I guess take a moment to think, do you have a bad habit of reloading too often? And if you do, that's something that could easily improve your game, because if you're reloading too much, you're taking yourself out of the game and you could be getting more kills. So my last play before the overtime round is to put down a sentry gun, and putting a sentry gun here forces the enemy team to go into the building because the enemy team isn't going to want to come down the street when there's a sentry gun shooting them. So